So that's what we might get up on YouTube maybe here.
Yeah.
Do it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be fun. And I'm going to be learning. So bear with me, pal. And I really appreciate this and everything. I think people are going to find this really interesting. And I'm really glad we could get it all together. And welcome.
Thank you very much.
My great good pleasure to welcome you to Conversations. And we have, in a certain very real sense, we have a very special program today. We have here in the studio with us John Kowalski. John Kowalski may be known to some of the people who have viewed Manhattan Network as one of the creators, major creator of a major program called Colors Project, which I'm here to say represents some of the best art being presented on planet Earth now, as far as I am concerned. A very creative group of people who put together a program here. And he's also a cyber whiz in a certain sense. He knows cyber things very well. And we are going to hear today, have him. He's now taping a little piece of tape with me, and we are going to try and demonstrate to myself and to the cable and to the audience that's viewing, and perhaps to the people who will be able to see this on YouTube, the steps that systematically make it possible for the citizens now to take video, multimedia footage, put it through a process, and then put it on what is called YouTube, or the various systems around that are developing, there's Blip and others, and have their video content made available to the world at the click of a mouse, which is a major development in terms of information processing and technology. And he's going to demonstrate that for us. And if I may come with camera on Mr. Kowalski. John, welcome very, very much to Conversations. I really thank you enormously for coming in and helping us through this tutorial.
Thank you very much. I'm going to stop the camera now.
Okay. We now have a piece of tape that we're going to be able to use in the demonstration.
That's true.
I wonder, maybe we could take a few minutes. We have a couple things they can see here. We have your computer. We have a little webcam that you have, or
It's a digital mini DV camera.
A digital mini DV camera, which makes it possible for you to capture television. Boy, in the old days, I've been doing this for a long. We used to have a 100-pound thing we had to take with us to get what you now get on a little thing like that in much better quality than we were able to, and that's very good. And we're going to use that as a piece of tape or as a piece of footage that we're going to include in the program. We have some other matters, your computer, and we're connected so we can demonstrate on the screen what the computer is. But just really briefly, maybe you could share with us. We're going to talk in 3 segments. In terms of getting multimedia content onto one of these sites that can have it done so that it's available to anyone to view at any time, there's a 3-step process. There's capture, compress, and the other one is upload.
Yeah.
It's a CCU in a certain sense. But maybe you could lay it out, because you know things very well. What's involved with this process of taking a multimedia and getting it up on one of those systems? And maybe we could talk about it in theoretical terms for a few minutes. It's a major new development, no?
Well, getting video on the internet and watching video on the internet definitely is a new development within the past few years. The bandwidth hasn't been there yet to get to that point, but now a lot of people got DSL, cable modems, T1s, and even crazier ones, really big.
Yeah.
Like Manhattan Neighborhood Network has a big, fat pipe.
Yeah, right. Okay, and it's going to be getting fatter.
Yep.
And it's going to be getting fatter for people on the planet as we begin to look ahead.
Yeah,
because
totally, and more, so we transfer more and more data really quick.
Right, I think, and it's inexorable because the computing capability is growing exponentially every year.
Moore's
Law.
Law.
Growing more and Moore's Law. And we can project even beyond Moore's Law to where there's going to be computing capability that is going to be just almost in a certain sense transcending the ironclad laws of scarcity.
Like quantum computers, that's going to be cool. Because I was thinking, what's a computer? How do I break down a video and help people understand the process? And it's like, well, video is like seamless. It's like water. And like we got to make it digital, we got to break it up into little tiny bits and little bits. And I was thinking, wow, it'd be cool if we can like get the computer like the seamless water, bring the computer back to the analog, somehow unite them. That's like a quantum computer or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going. And you've studied computers and you know them very well. I've seen you play the computer like Vladimir Horowitz plays the piano. You really know how they work and everything. And maybe just briefly, you studied computers and you've been involved in them for quite a while, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like computers.
Mm-hmm. And
I like teaching people about computers too, and that's our primary goal for the day.
Well, that's what we're doing here now.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. And you've taken a little piece, just to set it up, you've taken a little piece of me talking, which would be maybe a 1-minute clip, and among other things, we're going to take that 1-minute clip and go through the whole procedure by which it is done.
On this little tape right here.
Right. Show the little tape, yeah.
We got like 2 minutes of video from the beginning of the show. We're going to take it from the tape, and we're going to put it into the computer. We're going to capture it, and then we're going to compress it, and then we're going to upload it to YouTube. We'll make a new YouTube account. We'll do the whole thing.
And then we're going to put that on. I have an account there now. You've helped me do that. I've set it up as an account. And maybe it's worth talking just briefly about that. This thing that you got YouTube, you have Blip, you have others, you have Archive, and is there MySpace? And are there going to be new places where you can do this? And this can be done. It might be worth mentioning to the viewers is that this can be done. And at this stage, and it begins to look in terms of the exponential increasing thing, it can be done at virtually no cost to the person at all, which is a good price in any currency to get video footage available to the world, as it
I guess this camera I bought for $230.
Right.
I guess I shouldn't say where. And then you need a cable, the FireWire cable.
Right.
And then you need the laptop or any kind of computer, and then an internet connection. So as long as you have those 4 things, you can do it at virtually no price.
Now, what is the demand of the computer? Does the computer have to be of a certain power or something of that sort in order to be effectively dealing with video? Because video takes a great deal of computing capability, doesn't it?
I say any computer you buy nowadays that's new would be able to support compressing video and uploading it.
Okay. There's not a megabytes of RAM memory or something that
you should have like a Pentium 4 or an AMD processor. You should have at least 512 megs of RAM. You should have a hard drive that can hold your stuff. A full tape, a full mini DV tape, uncompressed, straight from the tape with the FireWire, is about 12 gigs.
Okay.
So you need at least 12 gigs to capture a tape, and then, but like say you get an 80 gig hard drive, that's good. You get any of those, and that's.
You can get an 80 gig hard drive exterior thing you can have.
But you want to keep it, if you're going to work with exterior, you want to keep it all internal while you're capturing, because it's a real-time process.
Okay.
So if it has to go through the computer, through like a USB cable into an external hard drive, and if the computer has a hiccup, you might have some drop frames. So you want to keep everything as close to the processor as to get the job accomplished. You don't want to do any exterior things too much.
Okay, and we're talking to, and then you've got that in the computer. You make a file. That makes a file, and then what you have to do with that, you have to compress it. And what's involved with that compressing? I know you use a thing called Sorensen. There are others, but the compression. Why is that, and what is the significance of that compression stage of the process?
Compression's really important because, as we said, straight from the camera, digital camera, this is just standard, like, standard digital tape. It's not HD, which is even like more data.
Right, that's
Your data requires a certain amount of every second requires a certain amount of data, of bits or bytes. And when you're recording data, it's in bytes, and then when you're transmitting it, it's in bits. And you gotta when you got an internet connection, say you got like a T1, which is like a really big, it's like 1.5 megabits per second. You can send out that much data per second. Now, when you have it right from here per second, on average, I mean, if we did the math, we'd say if it's 12 gigs for 1 hour, then we got to take 12 gigs divided by 60, and then divided by for 60 minutes, and then divided by 60 again, and then we get our how many megabytes or how many kilobytes.
Are you dividing or multiplying?
We're dividing because we have 12 gigs for 1 hour. Divide that by 60.
I see, right?
Like, let's even do the math.
If you want to do it on there, and you can demonstrate what's on the computer, I guess, if we can bring that up.
We're going to do a rough calculation here. All right, so we got this, and we're going to do.
There's the computer up now.
Let's say roughly, because this is not a true statement, because when gigabytes,
okay,
let's say it's let's say 1,000. We want to do it in bytes, so we got.
If I may,
yes?
Could I interject here for a second?
What's that?
The YouTube, and I'm not sure. There's other systems. There's Blip and other. They want whatever is going to go on their system to be 100 MB.
That's true.
Is that something is a basic thing that one works toward through this whole process?
Let me show you
is that important?
That's true.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I made up the document. We're going to jump ahead for a second, but on this document, we got compression, and I'm going to zoom in on this so we can see it a little better. We got some example compression schemes for this. Now this is just for YouTube, because YouTube requires 100 megabytes. So a megabyte is different than a megabit.
Okay.
A megabyte is 8 megabits.
Okay.
It's like that. So, but you really don't even want to say in megas. You want to
we don't
talk
want to get too
bytes.
burrowed down on the details of what's there.
So if we're going to do it on YouTube, if we have an hour of video, we want to compress it at 200 kilobits per second.
Okay.
The transfer rate is in bits. And when you take it from here, say 200 is for YouTube, but from here, I'm going to say, I guess that it's like 2,000 kilobits per second. So this is so much more data. So in order to get it to YouTube, we have to smush the data.
Smush.
Smush
is
it
that
down.
a technical term?
No.
No, okay.
Compress.
Squeeze. Yeah.
Squeeze is another, like,
Yeah.
Squeeze would be like smush.
Right.
Compress
And what
is
is
the technical
happening
term.
in that compression process? They're getting rid of some extraneous stuff because the picture is still seen and everything.
That's true. They are getting rid of some extraneous stuff. There's different algorithms, different methods of compressing data. They're called codecs. And there's all these, there's like, the most popular one's MP4 right now, that's MPEG-4, but they had MPEG-1, MPEG-2, MPEG-3, which they use for audio. And there's MPEG-4, which is audio and video kind of combined. There's the AVI files, which Microsoft built. Then there's the DivX type.
Okay, be careful, don't get too go ahead, go on.
Right.
Don't get, the one thing we don't want to do is discourage people by getting into all the jargon, you know, and that kind of, they want to keep it kind of simple for people, because we want to have as many people as possible be able to take pictures and put them up. And if you once get a template that works for your system that you're involved, and you get that down, you set that. Like for instance, I have about 2,000 programs I've done over the long haul of my conversation series. If I once get a template, I'll be able to just put them through that template, set it once, get them right, and follow a template that would work mostly for any footage that I'm putting in there.
Yes.
So you get that set.
And you have two different types of footage.
Yeah, that's right.
You have some digital footage and you have some analog footage.
Yeah, I got mostly, because I've been at it so long since dinosaur days, I've got a lot of stuff that's analog. And it might be worth mentioning, this is one of the devices that you would need if you've got analog footage, right?
Yeah, we got this. This is your device.
Yes, it is.
This is the Dazzle. And what it is if we could zoom in on that, we got a USB
Can you
cable.
come in on the camera? Yeah, there he is. You got it.
We got the USB cable, and then we got the Dazzle device, which takes in composite, an S-video, and the audio left and right. This is another method to capture analog.
So that would be like VHS footage or U-matic if someone has 3/4 inch. You can take and you can plug your, the RCA cord there, or you can do S-video, plug it in there, put this into your computer, and you're transferring. That's one step if you've got analog.
That's a capture.
That's a capture device. There are other capture devices.
This is another way of capturing. Digital capture with a FireWire
But
cable.
this one is for if you have analog footage. You have to go through, and then you put this into the computer, and then you can make a digital file on the computer from the analog, right?
Now we got some digital methods. Let's see. I'm going to grab my notes over here. So there's different types of software that will capture. We got Vegas Video. Avid's the real popular one in like the movie studios and stuff. Everybody uses Avid or Final Cut Pro if they're using the Mac.
And they have iMovie.
iMovie, Pinnacle Studio, which comes bundled with the Dazzle. So if you have the Dazzle, you got to use the Pinnacle Studio.
Okay. And
we should capture though, because we only got 58 minutes to do the show.
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
All right. So first step, we're going to capture. We're going to use Vegas Video.
Okay.
Vegas Video is the program that you're using. No, you're using Pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
Because you're still doing some analog.
Right.
When we get you in the digital, you'll start using Vegas Video, or whatever you feel comfortable with. You can probably use Pinnacle too.
Yeah, okay.
But I like Vegas Video.
Okay.
I got Vegas Video 4. They're out to like 7 now. But it all does the same thing. So I'm going to load up Vegas Video.
So what you're doing is you're going to now load a piece of digital footage from a mini DV tape by
which
using,
we just printed. We just
tapped. It's just
so we can show you that we can get up a 2-minute video within an hour.
Yeah, we're going to have this up on YouTube by the time the program's over, right?
Yep.
Okay, and that's the thing that we want to make it so that it's not all mystified.
Let's come back to the cameras. That's what that Vegas looks like. This is the camera, and this is the FireWire cable. And all I did is stuck the FireWire cable into this. This camera is $230. It's a Samsung D363. It's a good camera. Take the other end of the FireWire cable, and I'm going to put it into my laptop.
Okay.
Now, FireWire is pretty good to have.
Yeah,
now, they got cameras that take USB.
And this is only relevant for digital footage, you have to understand, right?
Yes,
okay, that's right.
Now, it pops up this on my Windows computer. You
now
see
you're
that
going to show what you're doing?
Let's show the computer.
Can you show the computer? There we go.
It says, what do you want to do? You can capture video with Windows Media Maker, and you can do it with iDVD or something. There's so many ways to do it. I'm just going to cancel because this is the way I want to do it. So in Vegas Video, I'm going to go to File, and then I'm going to hit Capture Video. Let me zoom in on that for you.
And that's a standard process that's followed. There's various ways of doing what you're looking for is capture video when you're doing that. Right.
Capture video is the technical term for what we're doing. We're capturing the video to the computer.
That's right. CCU.
CCU, capture, compress, and upload.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit the capture video. I'm going to zoom out a bit so we can see. Now we have this right here. Let me move it over there because I got 2 screens over here. And we're going to hit this here. And we bring this over here. So we got this. And this is what a capture screen looks like. They got advanced captures. They're pretty cool when you got a tape and you want to do specific things. You can set cue points and you can do time code and pick it in and then do a batch capture.
If I may. Most people are going to capture, or let's say public access, they're going to, you play a tape. If you make a VHS to VHS, you put play, record, and it does.
All right, so we won't get
all
too
the
complex.
Details, let's try not to get into that.
We don't have to go into advanced capture.
We don't have to go into advanced capture.
We're just going to hang out in standard capture, which is right here.
All right.
All right, so now it says the device is stopped. All I got to hit is play. It's playing. Let's see what happens. We got sound over here. Look, this is before the show. I can put my microphone down there.
Is that the tape that you're playing now? That's actually being captured. That's a little piece
we didn't capture. We just hit play.
Oh, we just hit play. We just recorded it.
So we're just playing right now. Now, if we wanted to capture, we would hit the capture button.
Okay.
But you know what?
What?
I want to really get the part. This is the pre-show. Let's fast forward a little bit to where we did the beginning of the show. Let's see.
Okay, let's get it set right because we're going to go through. We're going to do about a minute.
That's the monitor.
Okay.
And then we got George. He's talking.
Yeah, right.
I love George.
Okay.
And then we're back here.
All right.
So now
George,
let's capture.
Director, yeah.
I'm going to hit capture video.
Okay. Right from there. Huh?
This is it. Let's see. Now it's capturing. Let's see what happens. Let's put the mic down here. There you getting ready before the show. We're being all quiet.
Right.
Because we have to do the 1 minute of black.
Yeah, right. So that's so good. We're quiet. We're not making any audio. But okay, that's good.
Now, but now capturing.
You're capturing that now.
Capturing is a real-time process. So we're gonna do the first. I did it for 2 minutes, I believe.
Okay.
So we're gonna let that capture.
Okay, and we're doing that now. This is the first step.
First
step
is capture.
And this happens to be done with what you call a FireWire because that's the thing of the digital cameras the last 5 years or so.
So cool, the FireWire is that it has device control in it. So as you can see, when we hit play, it hit play on the camera.
It did. It's all connected, right?
Yeah.
That's really good. And things are moving rapidly. Everything's going to be digital. I mean, everything's moving that way. So this is the way of the future. All the programs are going to be done in the digital format. The whole world's going digital. But this is what you do, and this is relevant to programming with a lot of people, and that's what you do. The first step is to get the thing from the video to the as a file on the computer, right?
And right now we're capturing it. We're bringing it in uncompressed. straight,
right,
pure video, really crisp.
That's right.
It's not even like what you guys are seeing on TV right now, because they can't see it in that essence.
Right, okay. And then the other thing we stress again is that for the older things that are coming out of VHS and other analog things, you need to have a device to transfer it from the analog input, the video, the yellow, red, and white and red, and or S video, and then this thing takes it, this connects a USB into the computer and transfer. This is a capture card, they call it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And this is a capture device to go for analog. So
and they got
analog,
capture devices that you can put right into your desktop computer. You
Okay.
open up the case,
Right.
you put the card in, like a PCI card,
Yeah,
and then it's just like you plug it in. You can capture your TV shows.
Okay.
I like to capture TV shows sometimes, and or like I can even put this capture the video and then stream it out on the internet right away.
Yeah.
So when oh, it stopped. I hear it stopped.
All right, it stopped. Now we've recorded that thing.
So I'm gonna hit stop.
Uh-huh.
And then it's gonna say boom. So this program created 2 clips. Because what it does is some programs are intelligent enough to make clips. And that's okay. We're happy with clips. Now let's see. I'm gonna close this down. And then this is our 2 things, and let's drop one in. Here's one. I'm just dropping them in here to see like what's going on. There's one of them, and here's the other one that it made. Let's see. Which one do we want to work with? Because it split it up. Oh, it's about the same exact thing.
They look very similar to me across a crowded room. I don't know.
They might be the same. But that's it. We captured it.
Okay, yeah.
And I know that every time I capture with Vegas Video, I can close Vegas Video now. Because I'm not going to do any editing. I know that every time I capture something with Vegas Video, as long as I go to my computer and then I go to my documents, I'll see the files that I just captured. Now,
so that's where they're usually generally stored under my documents?
It's always different. You got to know your program.
And that's what you have to know, where you're storing those things, and you set up a template for doing this kind of thing. All right.
Because I do a show, look, we got S45. We've done our 45th episode.
Yeah, I know, and it's great. It just gets better every week, it seems to me. And they're all available for you because you have your own server you put them on, or something.
Yeah, I put them on the server.
Okay.
So then we got, let's see, we got this file right here, this 495 megabyte file. Now, 495 is way too big for us to work with, because YouTube only takes 100 megabytes.
Yeah, that's right. Make that point. That little 2-minute thing was 459?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, right?
Let me see how this looks. Here you are right here in all your glory.
You can see it on the screen. Yeah.
Boom. Now it's really big, crisp.
That's the tape, right?
That's 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and it's 400, and what was the number we saw? I forgot. Let's zoom in. 500 megabytes for 2 minutes of video.
Yeah, right. And we have to get it to 100 for it to be able to go on YouTube. Is it similar with Blip and others, that thing about 100 and that? And what is the possibility of that number being larger? Because if I may, help me here. If you had say 500 megabits rather than, then there's something called a bit ratio, and that would have something to do with the quality of the
That's what we were talking about earlier.
Right.
This is 500 megabytes. Now, if we wanted to figure out how many bits, there's like cool websites out there. Let's go to a website. And there's like calculators. I'm going to go to Google. Let's see. I'm going to type bit, because data transfer is calculated in bits. Data storage is calculated in bytes.
That's a bit and a byte difference. I didn't know.
I don't know why they do it. It's just confusing.
Yeah.
But let's go to a bit-byte calculator. And here's the one I like to use, bit and byte conversion.
Yeah.
And what we can do, if it loads for us, there we go. We got bits and bytes. Let's see, now we can do, this does all kinds of things, and you put in a number, say we put in 1 byte, and then it should come up with 8 bits. Let's see what happened. I'll zoom in, because we can't see that. Where are we going?
I don't know.
Zoom real close. I got this thing's like I'm stuck on a, let's see, where is it at? Let's find our screen. There we go. All right, so we're over here and we're at our bit-byte converter, and this is important when we're talking about compression, because we need to know. Now we know YouTube is 100 megabytes.
That's what the file, whatever it is you put up there has to be under 100 megabytes, or 100 megabytes or less,
You
right?
see that? One byte equals 8 bits. Oops, let me close that. Our video popped up on top of it because it just repeated. This thing goes on endless repeat. Now, 1 byte equals 8 bits. And then let's see what happens when we do, how many kilobytes in 1 byte is the question. Well, let's bring this here. And we put 1 byte. Actually, let's do 1 kilobyte. 1 kilobyte equals what? 124 bytes.
All
right, so that's fine. What we want to figure out is we want to get down to, say we have to do the math in relation. I broke it down real simple over here. Let's show you this. We got our compression. We know that I did this calculations for YouTube. That's 100 megabytes. So if you have a 1 hour show, and you want to upload it to YouTube, you got to compress it to 200 kilobits per second.
Oh, that comes up with that thing, right? Okay.
Now that's the formula. Now, do you want to do the math? I could show you how I came with that formula.
Well, no, I don't particularly want to do the math. I'd just like to find out what we do in order to make it work. The math gets me a little bit out of.
Well, so that's what we got. That's what we can use this for YouTube. This is for YouTube. YouTube compression. Compression. What do you want to call that? Schema? I don't know.
Ratio or something?
Ratio sounds great. All right, so that's the YouTube compression ratio. Now that's what we need to do in order to get our videos on YouTube. Now, Blip TV.
Now, if you have a 10-minute piece instead of an hour piece, it would be the same 100 megabytes, right?
You could do 1 megabit. It's bits. These are transfer rates. And when we talk about compression, compression is equated to transfer. Because why are we compressing? We're compressing so that we can transfer the data over the internet.
Okay.
So that's why we got to break it down. Blip TV, I don't know what their limit is. It might be 100 megabytes. It might be 200 megabytes. But the way to figure it out is to do, like we're saying, 100 megabytes divided by 60 minutes divided by 60 seconds gives you your ratio for how many megabytes per second I can transfer.
Okay, that's getting a little confused. I mean, for average citizens, it's getting a little confused. Once you get this set, is there anything where you can just say the tape is this long, and the thing is you're aiming for 100 megabytes is what they need, and the tape is this long, and how do you know how many pieces of information there is that you have to reduce it down to 100? Well, how do you do that over, say, a 1 hour videotape? Is there some way of doing that?
We should do this. We should just make a rule. We'll set a rule right now, and we'll say if your tape is less than 30 minutes, let's do it like this. Let's go back to it. Let's break it into 3 parts. If your tape is an hour long, compress it at 200 kilobits per second. If your tape is 30 minutes long, compress it at 400 kilobits because it's good. Now, if you got 10 minutes, you can go all the way down to 1 megabit. But you can say, as a rule, 400 kilobits per second is an acceptable quality.
Repeat that again, because that's an important setting that would have to be done. And you're talking now. You're going to put this into a thing called Sorensen.
Yes.
And there are various kinds of.
Let's do that right now.
Okay.
Because I'll show you.
But repeat that thing you said for half an hour.
As a general rule,
yes,
if you have a video that is
30 minutes.
Less than 30 minutes, up to 30 minutes, do it at 400 kilobits per second.
Put that in the compression ratio that you put into, and there's various, Sorensen, there's other compression systems.
There's a lot of different, I got it right here under my notes.
But they all follow the same procedure, and that
Sorensen, QuickTime, or Vegas, same procedure.
And the same procedure and the same ratio of, what do you put it again, for half hour, you said
half hour is 400 kilobits.
It would be the same on all of those. The ratio, the number would be the same that you'd want to do your compression at, right?
Yes, unless you have more than a half an hour, then let's break it, let's compress it a little more to 200 kilobits.
Okay, and then if I may, if you, suppose you got, like, say, for instance, I got 2,000, okay, tape, and they're all an hour, Okay, so you're going to have a thing, and you're going to set that. So you set that as a template. You find out what that compression ratio is or something that works, and you set that on the machines you're using.
So let's show templates.
And then after you've done that, you've got a template that you don't have to think about that anymore.
Exactly.
You set this at the beginning, so don't be overwhelmed, but get the right template for this video that you're doing, and then you can
And for M&N, we can make a general M&N rule. If you're doing a 28-minute show, you want to compress it at 400 kilobits. And if you're doing an hour-long show, 58 minutes, you want to do it at 200 kilobits. And that's all you got to know.
Okay, that simplifies all that. You
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm saying. And then see how it works and everything. And then get the template right for the ones that you have.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Now, we've done that with the, now you've come to Sorensen, right?
This is
the compression.
Now, I'm going to show you. Sorensen will allow you to compress it in many different, Sorensen's a great program because it's really easy to use. And it allows you to compress it in many different formats. MPEG-4.
That's the most used now? MPEG-4?
That's the one that YouTube likes.
Uh-huh.
Macintosh, the Apple computers, they like QuickTime because they invented it.
Uh-huh.
Windows Media likes Windows.
Uh-huh.
Real Media, they like Real Media.
Uh-huh.
MPEG 1 and 2, they're old school stuff. MPEG 3, you can just make your audio.
No.
But we're going to hang out with MPEG 4.
Now, since we're talking about putting it on YouTube, we're going to do it because they favor MPEG 4? YouTube does?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So
and
that's
Blip TV, pretty much any internet web uploading site is it's going to like MPEG 4.
MPEG 4, so that would be the thing to work with now, presumably if you're trying to put it up on the internet.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so okay.
So that by default, Sorensen Squeeze.
And if I may, that thing about the ratio for a half-hour and hour show, that would be the same whether it's Mac or PC. It doesn't matter. It's all the same there.
It's all the same. It's a theory.
Because we have
it's
a couple
of
divisions. We have Macintosh people, we have PC people, we have analog, and we have digital. And those things, you want to get it straight.
And
so
if you were a Macintosh person and you were at the compression stage after you used iMovie or you used Final Cut Pro, which you would want to re-render it or compress it.
Compression is the same as rendering?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much. But rendering is the process of putting your video into a digital file that's readable, and compression is how do you want to render your video.
I see. Okay.
How much compression do you want to add?
We want to make a balance here between getting a system that's easy and demystifying, but at the same time is accurate in terms of the technological realities and capabilities. But you understand what I mean? We don't want to get people too bogged down with details because they get discouraged that way.
We should start compressing.
Particularly a lot of the general folks, yeah.
So we got this video over here that we made, and it was 2 minutes long, and I'm going to entitle it over here. I'm on the other side of the computer. Harold's YouTube, and we got it. And it's an AVI file, and what we want to do is we want to drop that into Sorensen Squeeze. But first, before we go into that place, I want to set our compression scheme. So they built one by default, 512. Here's 384. That's good.
What do those mean? I don't know what that means.
That's the kilobits.
Okay.
What's our number, our magic number we want to work with?
200. We have to get 100 MB.
That's a 10-minute. We could do 1 megabit. For 30 minutes, it's 400 kilobits. And for an hour, it's 200.
Right.
You're doing 200 at home right now.
Yeah, but that's for an hour. We're only doing 2 minutes.
We're only doing 2 minutes, but our general rule was if it's less than half an hour, we're going to do 400 kilobits.
Okay.
So we got this compression scheme right here. I'm going to click this button right here, which edits the compression setting.
Okay.
I click on that, and then I'm going to zoom out. And then we got all these little details right here. I'm going to zoom in again. We got right here is the audio compression rate. There's 2 parts to a video. There's audio.
And there's video.
And there's video.
Right.
And look at here. All we got to really worry about is the data rate. So this data rate for the audio, because the audio takes up data also.
Yeah, sure.
So our data rate for audio is 64 kilobits per second. And our data rate for video is 364 kilobits. And one more thing I want to add, when you're uploading web video, you want to make sure that your frame size is 320 by 240.
Web video, what do you mean? I mean, like what we're doing?
When you're putting video on the internet.
Putting it to YouTube?
Yeah.
That's web video.
Because by default, it's 720 by 480. But when you put it on the internet, you want to do it at 320 by 240.
Okay, we got a few figures that come out of all that mishigash, and it's 320 by 240 is a set if you're going to have it on go to YouTube or to Blip or something.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm going to zoom out again, and I want to show you right up here. That's 64 kilobits for the audio, and the what is that number over there? It's hard to see that number. We got 364 kilobits for the video, and if we look at the top right corner, it says 426. Now that's a little higher than what we wanted, so I'm going to bring this down by, let's say we'll bring it down to 34. So now we're at 396.
Okay, what does that mean?
That's 396 kilobits per second.
Okay.
And that is what we've decided as our acceptable rate for anything less than 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you're 400, right?
Yeah.
That was 400.
That's our 400. That's the magic number.
Okay.
That's the YouTube magic number.
Okay.
For anything less than for a half an hour show.
Right. Okay.
All right. So we're going to zoom out.
And what would it be for an hour?
200.
200.
You got me.
No, I didn't mean to get you at all. I'm
right.
trying to make it, it's just that same, we got 3 or 4 numbers here that it can be used as a guide for working with the system. And this is Sorensen, but that would be applicable to iMovie or
anything. This is an idea.
Final Cut Pro.
This is the compression
This is a template.
idea.
Yeah, right. This is a template that's universally applicable to media footage on the internet.
So I just saved that template. Now I want to just bring in that video. Now I can easily just come over here in my documents, remember this? And there's your video, and I can drag and drop it into the stage, which is right here.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go the other way, which is go to File, Import Source, go to my documents, because I know it's saved there, and I look for the one that's called Harold's YouTube.
Do you see it?
Yep, and I hit Open. So now it's opening up that video. There's the video, remember?
Yep.
Let's play it a little bit. There you are,
that
playing the video. That's the video. Perfect. I stopped it. All I got to do is take our 512. I think that's the one we edited. Let's double check. What's it say over there? 512. That's the one that we've set at 396 kilobytes. It's just called 512 because that's the name they named it. I didn't rename it. But we can easily rename it.
Yeah, if you want to. I didn't say, yeah.
But we're not going to worry about it. And all we can do is just drop our compression scheme into the stage. And now it's going to, when I hit squeeze it, it's estimating now.
Now that squeeze it on that is going through the compression now.
Yep.
And does that go in real time, or does that go in a little more than real time?
Compression is not real time.
Okay.
Capturing is real time because it's on a tape.
Right.
So the tape
is running.
It just rolls at a steady space.
Right. Okay.
But half an hour show is 400 kilobits per second.
And for an hour?
200 kilobits per second.
Okay, and then and those are numbers. See, what we want to do is, that's all very interesting, the details of how you do all that. What you really want to get is a number that a person can do, so we want to make it simple.
Yeah.
If possible, right?
Yeah.
Without getting in all the details of the fine-tuning, which can be done. It always can be done where you can do fine-tuning, but it's better to get going by just getting the process that works, and that's what we're trying to do now.
Yeah.
We've gone through 2 steps now, or we're going through the second step, which is the compression. That's happening now. It's a 2-minute piece. It might take 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6, 10 minutes, or what?
Yeah, it looks like there's a timer on there. It says it's like 1 minute.
Oh, it's already going.
And it's 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Now, remember when it was 2 minutes and 15 seconds long, that video, it was 500 megabytes. No way we can upload that to YouTube.
No, that's right. So we'll find out what it comes out in the compression thing.
It's going to come out a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's going to come out a lot smaller. And what's it doing? It's eliminating some of the excess stuff or something. What is that compression actually doing? Real quick now, if you could.
It takes all that image, and it will go through, and there's different ways. There's different algorithms to compress video. And sometimes it'll just be like, it'll analyze the video, and it'll see, like, if we're using your video as an example, and you're moving around, but the background's not.
Yeah.
So the computer knows that the background's not, so it's like, okay, I'm not even going to worry about the background unless it moves. So I'm just going to set that as the standard.
And it can do all of that?
Yeah.
That's really something amazing, isn't it?
That's why
really
when you're watching videos and you see somebody move and then it looks pixelated for a second.
Yeah.
Because it's like generating that data.
Okay, so then that means that your quality is really quite good. We put one up the other day. It's up there now. We've got an account now and everything.
Should we go look at it?
We went up Muammar Gaddafi. We got a program we did in 1991 with Muammar Gaddafi, which is quite good, describing his system, and it's now on YouTube, so anybody can see it from now until the end of time. Perhaps that's another question we could go to.
Here's YouTube.
Okay.
I'm going to zoom out again.
Maybe you can't get that. I don't know.
There you go.
But we did. Is
Here's
it there?
YouTube, and I'm going to search for Harold Channer.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
And this is anybody. Paula Gloria's got 30 or 40 of them up there now, one of the producers here. And the producers at MNN could be putting these things up on a regular basis. And again, it is of no cost. It doesn't cost anything, which is a good price for people that aren't institutionally connected or needing to be into a system of a business model or something, which makes it very interesting and very useful in terms of public access's mission, that's for sure. So maybe it's not working now?
Well, it's working. It's just loading slow. But there it is. See, there's your test one that we did, and below it is the Honorable Omar Gaddafi. And look, somebody gave you 5 stars out of 5.
Well, okay.
So there's your video, and that's a 58-minute long. But look what happened. It's finished.
Now that's 58 minutes. Oh, the thing is
now look at this.
Mm.
You got the Herald's, the original file.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to sort it by name. So
yeah,
they're
and
next
can you
to
bring
each
it
other.
big again? Can you make it big?
Yeah, I'm going to zoom it in.
Yeah.
Zoom.
Well, you sure make these things sit up and dance, man.
All right, so we got the Herald's YouTube, and on top of it is the stream that we just built. That's an MP4 file now. And if we zoom over ever so slowly, let's do a comparison. 500 megabytes for the original uncompressed. 7 megabytes once we compress it.
That's a lot better, isn't it? Yeah.
7.
That makes it a lot better, and you can do that. Okay.
So let's upload it to YouTube.
Now the thing is, that's the third phase. We've gone
Should we upload
capture, compress, and upload.
Should we upload it?
So what do we do with this file that we've got of this 2 minutes of stuff to starting this program?
Tell me this. How much time we got right now?
We've got now, we're 41 minutes in, so we got 17 minutes to go to the end of the program. Yeah.
Do you want to build a new YouTube account, or do you want to just add it to your current account?
Just add it to the account. I don't care. Just put it in there. You don't have to build a YouTube. And while we're talking, we're going to be, you're a member of ACAP also.
That's
and
true.
You're also a producer here at ACAP, being the Association of, what is it? Association of Public Access Producers.
That's true.
Access cable producers, and you're going to give a little presentation about this, and we'll let people know. It's going to be on this program is going to air on Monday, the 20th of November. So people will be viewing that, and there's going to be a gathering of people in New York.
Should we tell everybody how to get there?
Well,
we can have everybody in New York come.
No, maybe we shouldn't, but we are. But we're going to let a lot of people know about that, and then we're going to make this, and this is going to be available by that time on the YouTube, so they can get this. We're trying to get a tutorial, and I would like to encourage everybody to think about utilizing this new technology that's emerging. There are a lot of people who want to get their pictures of their grandkids or their film or something like that. And why not? Since we're getting into a situation where everybody can get in on the archiving of footage there.
So I'm going to log in as you now.
Okay.
And I think I know your password.
Okay. Everybody knows my password. Okay.
Let's see if that works.
Even carnivore.
All right, let's get back over here. We're logging in as you. Where is my mouse? Let me bring it out here so I can see, because it's all smushy.
Does it work?
Why don't you put your password in?
Well, I don't know. I'm not
sure.
sure. I'm not sure what it is. To tell you. I'm not sure what it is.
Really? Isn't it? Okay.
Well, it is it.
Yeah. Oh, and no number?
I don't think so.
Oh, I was putting the number in.
I don't know if that worked.
There you go.
It worked.
You know your password.
I knew it. You didn't.
All right. So we got. Now we're gonna upload a new video, and all you gotta do is when you log into YouTube, it's really easy to build an account. All you gotta do is say, make an account, and you make an account, and then you get this screen, and then you hit videos. Oh, that's not how you do it. That shows you videos. You go. Let's go back home. We're here. We got to go
now
to
you're at
My
YouTube.
Videos, right below the videos. And there it says, and now it says upload a video. So we click upload a video. we give it a title. What do we want to call this video?
Test, or I don't know, something simple.
Come on, give me a better name than test. We used test already on your first one.
I don't know, tutorial. How's that?
Tutorial. All right. Tutorial YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube. And then we go description. This is the beginning of the show.
New world.
Of the new world. I love it.
Yeah.
Of the new world. Oh, I got the W-O-O. World. All right. And then we got tags. Tags are what you put.
What is a tag? Yeah.
Tags are like when people do a search, they want to see, they'll pop. So
like
we'll
a keyword?
Keywords.
Like
we'll do
say,
Harold, Channer,
Manhattan Network, maybe?
John Kowalski,
yeah.
MNN, Manhattan
ACAP,
Network, ACAP.
Okay.
I mean, we can go on forever.
Oh, yeah, that's enough. That's enough. We want to just test it, right?
Now we got to set our video category, like what kind of video we got. We got this is let's call it comedy.
You want to call it comedy if you want? Okay, it doesn't matter.
All right, so we just
that's just to get it classified.
And then the language is
and
English.
they've got a system where they can get to certain videos that you're searching for and everything. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So then I hit continue, and now I'm going to browse for the file. Browse. I know I saved it in my documents, and I know that it's called Harold's YouTube 512 Stream MP4. And then I hit that, and then I go down, and they got all these details. You want to make it public, you want to make it private. I'm going to make it public. You want to show your friends, your family, and then you hit upload video, and then it begins. We're in stage 3. And it says that it's uploading right now.
Now that's uploading that little piece that we shot earlier in the program. How long does it take to upload?
It depends on your internet connection. And I was on the MNN connection a little while ago, but it was moving really slow. So I switched over to my Verizon broadband card. That means I can go anywhere and be on the internet. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is at. It says it's at 3%. I hope we make it.
Well, we may not.
Oh, no. But you know what?
What?
All you got to go to, by the time you're watching the show, you just go to YouTube, type in Harold Channer, and you'll see it.
You're going to be able to see it if it doesn't get uploaded. So that's the 3 steps. This goes, and what happens after it's been uploaded? Is there anything more you have to do? Do you have to finish? Do you have to touch anything? Do you have to beg? Or does it just happen and it's there?
It pretty much just happened. It might ask you a few more questions like some websites you want associated with it, or change the name. It lets you change and edit things. But once you upload it, then YouTube, it goes to the YouTube servers, and then the YouTube servers recompress it again and puts it in Flash.
And then that's the thing. And then this is something maybe people aren't even aware. This is a major development in terms of the technology, and it's inexorable, and it's behind. What's behind possibly these things coming is the fact that the computing is growing in exponential proportions. It's just going to grow more and more and more every year as we begin to advance, as long as we don't do something really silly like blow up the whole world.
Well, that's why we're doing the shows that we're doing, because that's going to curtail that.
Well, we might. It might
As you say, cable access is going to change the world.
I think something like that. It's going to come from somewhere that isn't so ensconced in the power base and commitment to the system that's in place. It's going to be some place where you're going to have a different idea of how we're going to operate things. And all this technology has an operating manual. We need an operating manual for Spaceship Earth, and that's probably going to be emerging out of new way of thinking, people like yourself and so forth, and it's probably going to come within the realm. I think public access is really an important part of the media mix, more than the established networks. They have a commitment to a pattern that is going to be subsumed within a new thing, because the zeitgeist requires a new understanding. That's my sense. We need a DNA for the operation of the planet, and it's going to be coming out of public access and sister institutions like this. Now,
it's amazing to me that nobody comes here.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's a lot of people are here, but in my mind, this place should be packed all the time.
It's going to be, and it's going to be getting better and better, and it's going to be, because access, and now you've got this where you can archive this. David Peel, no less, I think is going to come and join us. Perhaps David Peel,
he's
that
cool.
Great, you know.
There's something else I want to show you.
Yeah.
When you, if you're ever interested in learning things about the internet.
I'm very interested in learning things.
Wikipedia.org.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
They got everything.
Isn't that great?
I learned everything on Wikipedia.
Well, look, that's part of the general thing in terms of that. But let's go over a few things because we're trying to concentrate here on this tutorial. In terms of, we've actually taken a little piece of video and put it up. The steps we can do. It's going to be. This is going to be on the internet. We're going to make it. Could we put this on a website? Could we put it on? I don't know if they'd want to MNN or something as a tutorial, or could we put it on the ACAP website for Access Producer?
We're definitely going to put this whole show on YouTube and on Blip. We're going to put it everywhere.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying, can I link that thing? I just capture the link and I put it on my website. So
they got links on YouTube where you can link right from YouTube and use YouTube servers. You can also like get your own servers and compress it yourself. YouTube, all they're doing is they're getting everybody's videos and then they're recompressing it and putting it on their servers.
Okay, what's the chance that they're going to, we're talking the design of this thing. The computing's getting more powerful all the time. Suppose they go out of business, or suppose they decide they don't want to have
free videos,
the likes of you, or free, or they want to start charging. Now it's free and everything. What are the realities of that? There's no, if you have your programs on there and then you put a link on your site to that, can you have it on your site? You click on it and it goes to that and they can see it?
That's the way we do our show.
That's the way we do it. But the thing is, it's served on their server or something, or on. Can we get servers the size of the Empire State Building so that we don't have a limitation on what we're able to serve and how we can save archival like that, and that the file? Are we getting to a situation where we're having a surplus capability to store? Like, can we store everything or something, or how far can we go?
I think
and what are the limitations of the business model that might eliminate the individual input? And this is part of Google now. It's a big company. Blip is part of, I think, is Murdoch, right? And that's, you got these. You have your own server. What are the realities in terms of that? Do you think we're in good shape in terms of the emerging server? And we should be looking at servers, and bit and bandwidth capability is a measure by which we can measure communication capabilities. We begin to look ahead for public access and for communication in general.
What was that? Was that a question?
Yeah, that was a question. What is the prospects for the continuing expansion of communications capability for the people of the world onto even including multimedia?
It's going to continually expand, and people are going to do it themselves in the future. There's going to be YouTube. YouTube is like a big corporation, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. But people are going to realize that they're going to want to host their own videos, show their own thing, market their own selves, promote them own selves. And there's going to be the big thing is going to be like when advertising drops into this. And the company that like takes like a YouTube kind of front end and then adds advertising to it and lets people that make their own videos, that you and I, when we make videos, that we will make money by posting those videos. That's the next step. And then,
that's called monetizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or we might get to a point where that monetizing process, just as part of the thing, the monetizing process might not, that's so important now because they want to monetize every piece of work and art and every human emotion they can in order to fit it in to the business model.
But this is a great thing to monetize. This is like, you can be at home, and if you're a really good video maker, if you're a good creator of art, all you got to do is make art, put it on the internet, and somebody's going to send you a check in the mail.
Well, if they do, yeah, they might. That's one way of seeing it. Or okay, it also makes it possible for people who are not interested in making money to put stuff up. And like the original thing of access was you could put some channel capacity aside, no money need be exchanged, you make the stuff available, and you're not thinking about making money. And there's a different relationship when guys are jamming. And they're not in a business model with the kind of thing. It's a different kind of creative vibe that is there and so forth. So it might be possible for people able to do things that they really want to do rather than what the market demands.
The problem with the monetization of money, of ideas and like videos, that because some corporation is controlling them, they're saying you got to show this, you got to do this.
Yeah, because nobody owns anything except a few people, those assets.
You can do whatever you want and you'll still make money doing it as long as you have an audience.
All right, but the other thing might be those corporate assets that are part of the infrastructure that runs the world might be able to be owned more democratically by people, so they own the infrastructure.
The people own their own art. They own their creations.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about the infrastructure and of the world is owned by a few people. It could be more democratically owned as a way of income to people it could become income to people because they're in touch with the systems, they own that,
and
the income's coming to them, so they don't have to be thinking about making money for what they do. That will disappear.
It will just be what they do.
They will do what they want to do and relate with people that they want to, and they'll be able to do it creatively, and they're not thinking about money.
And it's going to even be more than just video. It's going to be people, a true democracy is going to erupt because people are going to be voting for their causes.
And they're also going to be participating like guys jamming because that's where they want to be and not because they're fitting into some corporate model where they do what they're told.
And there's no more representatives of us. We make our own choices for our local, our regional, our state, our worldwide, national levels. We do we make all those decisions together. So we can no longer blame our representatives. We have to proactively make a change within our zygotes.
Our zygotes. Okay, and within the zeitgeist, it's all changing like that. And we're at a time, in a certain sense, it could be seen positively, a time of liberation. Young people are picking up on this. We're at a time of really qualitative transformation and liberation coming out of 200,000 years, and there's a new opening coming, a liberating capability. It's like a birth that's coming,
so
of liberation of the whole system, so
it's
that
like in,
we don't have
in
people.
Libya, they got the little town hall meetings. It's like a real democracy because everybody goes down and they vote. There's no representatives, but that's going to be the internet.
They also have signs everywhere say partners, not wage earners, because everybody now, because they're getting wages or money for what you do. That principle is going to pass. They're going to have an alternative system of forming capital and letting the technology come, and a way of distributing income so that people will not be tied up within what they do as a source of income. They'll be free to do things. They'll be able to relate with people in the way they want to, like you do, in all the most important things like love and so forth. It isn't subject to being bought and sold like it is in the situation. It's a liberation moment. It's coming. YouTube, public access, the place that's going to emerge. And I really thank you for coming in and demonstrating this thing, and you're going to demonstrate it some others. And it's only onward and upward and so forth. How are we doing on this? We're not going to make it. We're not going to make it on that.
It's okay.
But we ask you in the audience to tune in to YouTube. And how would they go? They'll be able to see this.
They just search for Channer, Harold Channer.
All one word?
All one word.
They do that. So if they search for Harold Channer, they go to YouTube.com.
And we got Gaddafi up there. And we're going to get Buckminster Fuller up there.
We're going to get Gaddafi, Buckminster Fuller, and a whole lot of stuff. Ray Kurzweil and
who else?
Ginsberg, Allen Ginsberg,
and
David Peel,
Leary,
maybe
Timothy Leary,
Abby Hoffman.
Some like UN people.
Yes, we're going to do that, and a whole lot of other things that are come out of the. We can put this up. The whole Access people can put their people up and have them archived. It's a major development along with the streaming.
And then the ACAP, we're going to unite all the people together so that we can work together and create some kind of revolution.
So it's a better world we're building. So thank you. We've run out of time. We haven't been able to get the whole process done, but you got it again. Let's go through it real quick. CCU. Capture, compress, upload.
And
it's
remember,
a three-step program.
You got an hour-long video, you want 200 kilobits. You got 30-minute video, you want 400 kilobits.
You do that, and then just follow the directions, and it's pretty simple. It's pretty well done. Don't be intimidated by all the possibilities of what could be done with fine-tuning. It's there, and I'm glad you laid out the basis of this, and I'm glad you're going to talk to ACAP here coming up. And thank you really very much for coming in and for such a well-led life and for teaching me all this stuff, which I'm trying very hard to catch up with where you guys are, and I congratulate you all.
All your shows up.
Oh, we're going to get all the shows up. We're going to end up with 10 billion television channels in this country, all archived of all the people of the world. I mean, it's really a very big development that's coming. Thanks for sharing that with us very much, John, coming in.
Thank you.
Really do. Your pleasure to have his perceptions and all the people in the booth. Go to YouTube and you'll see this little piece of footage that we did and so forth. And this is just the beginning of something that's really very, very important and liberating. And public access is a really important source of multimedia communication that's going to become part of the DNA by which our institutional structure and the operating manual for Spaceship Earth is going to become manifest, I believe. Yeah. So it's going to be here. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Thank you.
And thank you for viewing. We'll see you next time.